So today I want to talk to you about Serbia's relationship with the European Union, but before I do that, I just wanted to remind you that on Thursday we have the Brussels Regional Conference of European Students for Liberty happening here in Brussels. I'll be hosting and moderating that event. It's co-organized with the Flemish Libertarian Student Organization LVSV. So please check that out. I'll be putting a link down below and hopefully you'll join us. The relationship with Serbia, between Serbia and the European Union is definitely an interesting one. Serbia is one of the potential accession candidates to the European Union for a while now, and since the years 2015, 16 and 17, the European Union has been having a certain amount of negotiations with Serbia. And that means that every year the European Commission drafts a report, conveniently called the Serbia Report, telling us how Serbia has actually moved on in reforms and what Serbia does to show that it actually can become a member of the European Union. I'll be putting that report down below as well for you, so you can check that out. And it's very long, and I've been going through it a bit. If you look at that report, one thing is very noticeable. Is that on most things Serbia is not doing very well. Serbia is, in most cases, moderately prepared to join the European Union. For instance, if you take the example of free movement of goods, Serbia has actually implemented no reforms since the recommendations of 2016, so little will to change anything on that. Serbia has surprisingly been performing very well on education, apparently a good education system, which is interesting because most Serbs don't know much about the European Union, so I guess in that sense they're very much like the rest of Europe. Serbia is, of course, one of the questions is corruption. If you look at the Transparency International report of 2017 on corruption, Serbia ranks number 77, so Serbia is actually more corrupt than a country like China. That definitely doesn't help. The big question, of course, is Kosovo. So what is the relationship between Serbia and Kosovo? Because that is very much interesting for the European Union, which, of course, supports an independent Kosovo. And the relationship between Serbia and Kosovo is very much like your relationship with your ex-girlfriend. You might somehow recognize that she's there, but for the most part, you act like she's not. And that has been very much the policy of Serbia. When it comes to telecommunications or cross-border business, it's very difficult, it's very bureaucratic. For some parts, Serbia treats Kosovo as another country, and on other issues it doesn't. It makes pretty much business and movement as difficult as possible, and that, of course, will hinder negotiations quite considerably. And then, of course, the question is, if Serbia were to join the European Union, would this move be vetoed by a country like Croatia? And if it wouldn't, would Serbia then veto the accession of Albania? Because that relationship has been frosty, to say the least, as well. My take is this. I'm certainly not a fan of the European Union, so expanding it even more is definitely not helping. But I do recognize the counter-argument. The counter-argument is, for now, that if Serbia does not join the European Union, we'll just have another puppet state of Russia in the Balkans, much like we have Belarus in Central Europe right now. But then again, I believe that reforms need to come from inside Serbia. I don't believe that cohesion spending, that is spending on infrastructure and education and so on, will actually convince Serbians to think otherwise. Just because you join the European Union doesn't make you any more open towards liberal democratic values. I don't think that is. I do believe that this position is very ideal and very optimistic. I believe that there should be a deep association agreement. We have deep association agreement already with countries like Ukraine. But unfortunately, if you look on the other side, from the European Union's side, there's also not enough readiness to have, for instance, a free movement of people. You can have visa-free travel, but that is pretty much the only thing you can do, given the current migration debate, because also many countries in Western Europe wouldn't probably want Serbians to freely move outside and work in Western Europe. So that is sort of the roundup of the discussion. I hope I gave you some more insight as to what the debate is all about. It's been pretty much in the news, and maybe Serbia will eventually join the EU, but at least you're more informed now. So thank you for watching this, and see you next time. Thank you.